A young woman in a crisp 1940s summer dress stands hesitantly before an imposing brick recruitment office, a single piece of paper clutched in her hand, her small-town reflection faintly visible in the glass window behind the bold U.S. Army lettering, the Texas sun casting long, sharp shadows on the sidewalk. Three female recruits in matching sweat-drenched olive-drab undershirts and loose khaki trousers sit on the floor of a stark wooden barracks, their faces etched with exhaustion, writing letters home by the dim, single-bulb light, their personal effects, a photograph, a tube of lipstick laid out on their bunks behind them. Low-angle shot of a formidable female drill sergeant, her campaign hat pulled low, screaming directly into the face of a terrified young recruit during a formation run, dust kicking up from their boots against the bright, overcast sky, capturing the raw intensity of basic training. A line of women in one-piece coveralls, their hair pinned up, stand attentively beside the open hood of a Jeep, listening to a male instructor point at the engine. The backdrop, a sprawling wartime factory floor with the skeletal frames of aircraft under construction in the deep background. In a torrential downpour, a line of exhausted female soldiers laden with heavy packs trudges along a muddy, rutted road during a forced march, one woman in the foreground, her face a mask of misery and rain, being quietly encouraged by a stern-faced drill sergeant who has fallen into step beside her. A young woman in a dusty mechanic's uniform lies on her back in the gravel beneath the massive chassis of a tank, her focused face lit by the harsh utility light she holds, a wrench in her other hand, her overalls smudged with grease and grime. A group of female mechanics, their sleeves rolled up, works frantically on the exposed engine of a Jeep under a camouflage net, tools scattered around them, the urgent, dust-filled atmosphere palpable as a plume of black smoke rises from a hillside just beyond their position. Inside a cramped radio hut lit by a single bare bulb, a female signals corps operator with headphones around her neck listens intently to a field radio, her face illuminated from below, sweat on her brow as a male officer leans over her shoulder, his expression tense with expectation. A woman in combat gear, her face smeared with dust, sprints across an open dirt road toward a disabled truck, carrying a heavy tow cable, while another soldier provides cover fire, the blur of motion contrasting with the static, smoke-filled landscape behind her. High contrast shot from behind a sandbag emplacement, looking out at a disabled MRAP-style vehicle sitting in the middle of a dusty road, its tire shredded, as two figures are seen low-crawling toward it in the foreground, the air hazy with gunsmoke. A young woman, her face set in grim determination, crouches low behind the shredded tire of an armored vehicle, laying down suppressive fire with her M1 Garand rifle, spent cartridges glinting in the dirt beside her, her eyes focused on a rocky hillside in the distance. A male soldier, his face pale with shock, lies propped against a vehicle's wheel, clutching his bloodied shoulder while a female soldier with a medical kit crouches over him, her hands applying pressure to the wound, her expression a mix of focus and compassion. A female soldier, using all her strength, pulls a wounded, much larger male comrade by his webbing across the gravel and behind the cover of a disabled vehicle, her muscles straining, the dust and chaos of the firefight swirling around them. Dramatic wide shot of the entire scene, two disabled vehicles on a road, soldiers in defensive positions, and a column of smoke rising from a hillside as a heavy machine gun on a Humvee opens fire, tracer rounds arcing through the frame in a long exposure. A female mechanic, covered in grime, gives a weary but triumphant thumbs up from the driver's seat of a now towed MRAP, the tow cable taut in the foreground as a dust-covered recovery vehicle pulls it out of frame. A medic, his helmet off, loads a stretcher with a wounded soldier onto a waiting field ambulance as the sun sets, casting a warm, almost golden light on the scene, while a female soldier stands by, watching, her rifle slung, her face etched with exhaustion and relief. Formal portrait of a young woman in a crisp, newly pressed dress uniform, a bronze star pinned to her chest, standing at attention against a neutral army barracks wall, her expression one of quiet pride and newfound confidence, the lighting clean and direct. A proud mother, tears streaming down her face, embraces her daughter, now a decorated soldier in her dress uniform, at a promotion ceremony, while a stoic father in his Sunday best stands beside them, his hand on his daughter's shoulder, the American flag hanging limply in the background. A stern-faced female first sergeant, campaign hat in hand, pins new sergeant stripes onto the uniform of a composed young woman, their eyes meeting in a moment of mutual respect and shared history, the ceremony's attendees a soft blur in the background. A solitary female soldier, now a sergeant, sits on a crate at twilight, looking out over a now quiet forward operating base, a single cigarette smoke curling into the air, the last light of day catching the edge of her face and the faint outline of mountains in the distance.